All right, welcome everybody. Excited to have you. We're going to do some yoga today. Go ahead and have a seat if you like, and we'll start with meditation. So just open the chest up and start with meditating on your breathing. So inhale and really work the breath so that you inhale for the first 2/3 in the belly and then the last 1/3 in the chest. And let's just work it that way, along with relaxing with each exhale. So just work the breathing, inhaling deeply, and then exhaling and relaxing. Really letting go and relaxing as you exhale. Taking 2 more breaths here and then we'll open up. Okay, so let's go ahead and scoot up. We're going to start with side to side with your head, looking to the side, each side. Make sure to kind of pull the head back so you're not forward with it as well. Keep it back. And just inhale one side, exhale the other side. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Good, stay looking to this side. Inhale, exhale, look the other way. Again, inhale, look to the other side. Exhale, look the other way. Last time, inhale. Exhale. And then just relax your neck. Let your head just hang down. And then roll it to the side like a pendulum on a clock. Just back and forth. We'll just stretch from head to toe today. Working from head to toe. We'll start with seated from head to toe and then work our way down and then stand up again and go head to toe from there. Good, so back all the way. Just forward and back with your head. Far forward as you can get, and then as far back as you can get. Exhale as you go forward. Inhale as you go back. Good, and then grab onto the side of the chair and lean to the side, let gravity stretch you out. Mostly stretching the neck and shoulder. And other side. Excellent. And then up and down with the shoulders. Working right in here. So really relax the shoulders. Inhale, reach up. I do have a cat running around here, so it's not you imagining things if you see a cat show up in the video and disappear into the water. Lift the chest, breathe deep in the belly. Good, and now we'll keep with the shoulder area, and we're gonna reach back, grab the chair, you gotta scoot up. And the main part is the lean forward and stretching this whole area by holding on. So that's your stretch. You can kind of reach out, trying to stretch it even more. You can take the head to the side a little bit. You stretch that area more. And then we'll try the other side. Take some deep breaths. Try to get the breath up in the upper area here. And triceps, pushing back and pulling to the side. So it's triceps, but also you might feel it in the underarm here. Take one more breath. And other side. So we're not going to do a lot of poses today, yoga poses so much. We're just going to really focus on stretching. So if a pose is a good stretching pose, then we'll do it. But a lot of stretching from head to toe. Should be nice and enjoyable. So now we'll work ourselves down the arms first. We'll go to biceps. And biceps we can kind of do this way, pulling down and back. Pull your wrists back or hands back. And then try thumbs back, and that'll get the area too. Good, and then we'll move on to our forearms. To stretch the forearms, you actually want to move at the wrist, because this is when you pull in, that works those forearms muscles when you do a curl. So we're gonna go the opposite way. Now you got to be really gentle on this forced flexion stuff. That's what we call this when we're forcing it or pushing it. You don't want to break a bone or anything, so be careful. Just gentle. It's one of those things where they're like, seniors shouldn't do any forced flexion. You just never know what could happen, but blanket statement like that isn't always the best. Other side. I found that over time, we're like, all right, maybe seniors could do a little of this. They just got to be careful. And that's really the bottom line. Just be careful, know your limits. Sometimes just using a blanket term senior isn't even a good idea because everybody's so different. So many different stages. So let's try the top part here, pushing this way. Like I said, you got to be careful. If you have like bones that are fragile or you have osteoporosis that's pretty bad, then you don't want to do as much forced flexion, or you want to be extra careful. Other side. A little bit of a stretch of the muscles here, but mostly you'll probably feel in the wrist. All right, and then just push it out like this. Spread the fingers, stretching the fingers. All right, so let's move on to chest. So we're gonna sit back all the way and we're gonna open up the chest, stretching with that chair and just holding the position. We'll do a lot of holding today, not as much dynamic stretching, just holding and relaxing. Taking the deep breaths. And then stretching your upper back, curving the upper back as much as you can as you push out. Take a couple deep breaths in your upper back. And then we'll do some twisting for the torso, looking back behind you. And other side. And back to center. This little guy's getting all over my computer. Don't be pushing buttons. All right, let's go ahead and move on to lower back. Coming down. Who's clicking the mouse? I think he thinks it's a little animal mouse or something. This is stretching lower back. Just continuing to work down the body. It feels nice, just slowly stretching down the body. Take one more deep breath, go a little further, just a forward fold. And then kind of a little twist to the side, forward folding. Maybe turn your head back. Just putting my elbow right where my knee is, pretty much. And other side. Take a deep breath. Good, and then inhale, reach up, stretching right in here with the belly. Just taking deep breaths in the belly. One more breath. And exhale, pull your right leg up, stretching the back here and the hip and lower back, taking your forehead to your knee. Hold for a couple breaths. And then inhale, reach up. Hold for a couple breaths here. And then pull the knee to chest. Excellent. Then we'll go to the front of the hips here. We're going to face the side. So first working this side here, putting the leg back, reaching up, taking a couple deep breaths there. And back to center, inner thigh stretch. We have windows on both sides of the house, and this cat Lippa, we're sitting, likes to go back and forth between the windows, basically. So it goes to that window, and then it goes back to the other side of the house and back and forth, and that's what it's doing. It just likes to do that. Take one more breath. So just kind of upper inner thighs there. We'll continue to work that area by stretching this side now, putting the leg back and reaching up. And back to center. We're going to go ahead and keep working down the leg here. The next one's going to be the quadricep, the front of the leg. So it's just a little further down. We're going to put the leg back again, sit forward on the chair quite a bit, and then sit back so that you're stretching that quadricep muscle. And just hold there for a couple breaths. Cat will be back. Goofy thing. All right, let's try the other side. One leg back. I'll tell you though, easy senior income. Just having a cat hang out at your house, make a little money all week long. Lots of things you can do as a senior these days. Just hanging out. Excellent. We're just going to keep working down the leg. We're going to go to the back side now. Put the leg out. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. You can see how you could almost do parts of this video. It's pretty much a full body stretch for the seated part here. So you'll get extra stretching standing up and then seated again. But you could always do just the seated part or just the standing part or the last seated part as well. And just switch sides. Deep breath in. Excellent. Next one we're going to do is the front bottom of the foot. That's this part here, the instep. So think about just kind of sitting up straight and letting the pressure come down on the instep of your foot. Now you could use your hand, and once again, I caution you on the forced flexion, do what's best for you, but you could push a little bit, kind of pushing that down. Let me show you from the side. If you're here, all I'm doing is just kind of pushing down like that to get more flex. And let's try the other side. Show you here. Stretching the instep. And then last, we're going to stretch the calf muscles. Now, if you have a towel handy or a belt, or you don't really want to use your exercise band because it could just roll off and hit you in the face. We don't want to go there. But also, if you can reach, that's fine too, because all we want to do is pull the toes back. That's the focus, pulling those toes back. You see, I got this work shirt. Not worried about putting my shoes on it. Grab it like that. Just kind of pull those toes back. It's probably best if your foot's down, but just kind of give a good calf stretch there. Take a deep breath. Lots of time on each of these. So it's kind of relaxing to just go through the stretching like this. Other side. Might find one calf muscle is tighter than the other. All right, relax there. So let's go ahead and stand up. And we're going to start from head to toe again. Let's see where we're at on time. Perfect. So let's start with the neck. And what we're going to do is grab with the opposite hand and pull this arm across and then take the head to the side. So go ahead and stand up and we'll just work the standing part next. Now you could go through seated again with us. If you don't want to stand up, that's fine. A lot of this you can do seated anyway. And you can always go back to one of the ones that we did earlier. Other side. Give it a good 20, 30 seconds on each of these. Take a couple deep breaths. Good, and then we're going to pull the head down. And relax. Going side to side. And then rolling the shoulders. Just the shoulders. Don't worry about the body right now. But what I want you to think about is not big arms, but deep in the shoulders. In karate, we used to call it proximal versus distal. So you want to do your block with the more closer part of the shoulder almost. You wouldn't want to do it out here because it's not as strong. But moving right in there internally. Other direction. Yeah, really feel all of that close in moving. Good. Then we'll take the arms in, stretch the back, open up, chest. Go ahead and hold this. Exhale, stretch the back. And then inhale, open up. Hold for a couple breaths. Good, and next we're gonna work the biceps here. Now you can go ahead and just push out and pull the hand back. If you have a wall close by, Actually have a wall right here, even though it doesn't appear to be a wall. And then you can turn away a little bit. Again, this is forced flexion, so you gotta watch out. You don't want to hurt yourself. But what I'm getting at is that you put your hand, I'll use the back of this chair for an example, put it flat, and then you turn away and you'll feel it more in the biceps. You don't use the chair, but that's what I'm getting at with my wall here. And then try the other side. Just use this other wall. Put your hand flat first, so it really tightens those muscles. And then when you turn, you'll feel it in your bicep. All right, excellent. And then we're going to do a tricep stretch and lean to the side. So also a little side stretch too. And then we'll try the other side. And then make a fist with your hands. Roll the wrists around. You really feel this kind of stretching these forearms more. You even see the muscles kind of tightening and then relaxing. So try to go down real far with the wrists, up and out, and feel all those muscles. Other direction. Oh no. My little kitty's like, what's the camera? What's the camera, huh? Goofball. Good thing it's not so much yoga today. We're just stretching. That was funny. What's the camera? All right, feet together. Reach up and over. You're going to take the hips to the side. Other side. Didn't think the cat would be so comfortable, but he's getting way too comfortable around here. Usually he hides. All right, we're going to keep working down the front and back. We'll go cow pose next. It's interesting how as you work down the body, it can be very different when you're seated versus standing. Coming up with lots of different things here. Take a couple deep breaths. And then we curve the back. Mostly upper back. It'll help if you bend your knees a little bit. Good, and now we'll use the same kind of poses working down the body further. So you were stretching more up here with the cow pose. Now we'll turn it to more of a cobra and stretch down in here. Be careful, make sure your chair is solid. Don't let it come out from underneath you. That's why I don't do this all the time. You gotta have your feet back further, and then you kind of let your hips come down. Also be careful, you don't want to compress the spine here, force any bad flexion, hurt a vertebrae. But a lot of times people with lower back will really feel relief from this, and will pull those shoulders down. And sometimes the therapists will suggest this one. So there's our cobra. And then for the cat, focus now on pulling the hips underneath. Even take those knees forward a little bit. See how much you can curve that lower back. Hold there for a couple breaths. Good. Now straighten up. We're going to put the right leg over the left and reach down with the right hand. And this is going to be stretching the upper back and hip, or lower back and upper hip. Reaching down toward the toe. Excellent. And then we'll take a little break from that. We're going to face the side and then twist around, pulling ourselves to the front. So just rotations. Looking back behind you almost. And then we'll try the other side. Take a couple breaths. Just stretching the torso. Good. And then we have the left foot over the right, and then reach with the left hand. Keep your back pretty straight on this. So I'll show you from the side. You can see that keep my back fairly straight. I'm not going to curve it just so I can go further. It's not going to stretch the legs more if you do that. Hips and legs stretching. Take a couple more breaths. Okay, and then we have our hip flexor stretch. So this is going to be kind of like the runner stretch, just to show you kind of like this sort of a thing, where you're stretching this hip, but we're not going to go down as far, but we can you can go as far as you like. But I'm trying to stretch that, and I'll bounce on it a tiny bit, not bouncing, but just a little bit of movement. Try holding it as well. And other side. So the runner stretch here. Just kind of stretching it out. Hold it too. Excellent. So then you can go back to having the foot down and just kind of leaning back for the quadricep. Or if you want to get even more, you can put your foot on the chair here. Just be careful, no falling. And then just kind of lean back and you might feel the stretch in the quadricep. You can almost kind of hold on to the back of the chair. Just make sure your chair doesn't get away from you. Now, if you're super good at that flexibility, you can even just grab. That's the ultimate. If you can do this, go ahead and keep doing it, as long as it doesn't hurt your knee. And try to keep your posture, or even leaning back a little, or taking the foot back. All right, let's try the other side. So you have lots of options with that one. You got the floor, or maybe just a short bench. I got this cat scratcher here, for instance. Put this here. Put my foot up on it. Voila, I'm in good shape. Just find what's best for you, hold it. Give this back to my cat. Not my cat, but just for a week. Just watch out when you put your foot up there. You don't want to bail, hit the floor. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and work the back of the legs. So let's start with just holding here like this. Take a couple deep breaths. And relax. And then we're going to put our foot up and stretch the back of the leg some more. And you could also just use the floor again, or use one of these rocks I got here from the river. Leaning forward. Whatever works best for you. I like to have it up there. And other side. So have it on the floor or up. I read once that something that I read suggested that not good for seniors to put their foot up and stretch. And the reasoning was that you have to put all your weight on this one leg. And we do that during balancing. So I don't see anything wrong with that, putting all the weight on one leg. But again, if it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. Okay, and so then let's try to work the instep. It's a little harder sometimes with the standing, but actually sometimes it can be nice too. What you'll do is put your foot back like this and then just kind of drag it forward and then kind of go down a little. And you should be feeling the stretch in the instep of the foot. Hold for a breath. And then we'll just switch sides. Put it down, drag it forward a little, come down on it. Almost to the bottom here. Excellent. Last, we're going to do the calf stretch, putting one leg back. Really trying to focus on the stretching today and have it not be as yoga-like, just so that we can get the full benefit of the stretching. So for instance, bow and arrow pose, you might not end up stretching as much as if you grab that chair, really push into the heel, and then bend that front leg. Take a couple deep breaths. And other side. This is almost like the ultimate stretching routine. We get lots of good stretching in. We're only 2/3 of the way into it. We have another third to go. We're going to go to seated again. And relax. So again, if you have a towel or something, that can always be helpful, but it's not necessary. I'm just going to use this a little bit here, and we'll get to that in a second if you want to do that. Next one, let's go ahead and focus on starting from the head down to the toes. Let's go ahead and work the eyes a little bit. Open the eyes and close them. Open again, hold them and stretch them. Good, look to the right. Look to the left. The eyes have muscles too. Good to stretch them. Looking up. And looking down. Good, and then next we're going to focus on the mouth. Just take the mouth and open it wide. Good jaw stretch too. All right, now go ahead and make it like a tight grin with your teeth. And then take your chin to the side. And other side. Good, and then we're going to take and grab the chair, reach out with the other arm, and just take your neck kind of down toward the front and then back to the side. Just working our way down to the feet. And other side. Kind of down and forward. and then ear to shoulder. And then sit up nice and tall, look to the side, and then push slightly with your hand. Again, being careful. And then we have the other side. And take your arm across, pulling in. A little bit of a turn there, stretching the shoulder. Rotate your wrist. You can close it again. Other direction with the wrist. And then we'll switch sides, pulling in. Start with just the stretch, feel the stretch in the shoulder. And then make a fist and roll it around. Other direction. And then push out, curve the back. You might have to scoot up a little bit. Go to one side, take a deep breath. And other side. And then sit up tall. You might scoot up more. Pull the elbows back like your hands are in your back pockets. And then pull the elbows together. Take in a couple deep breaths. Stretching the chest and shoulders. And then just reach up and over, stretching the side. Maybe a little underarm. And other side. Good, and then we'll face the side here. One leg back, reaching up with both hands. Even put the hands together so they can force each other back a little more. And then take a couple deep breaths in the belly. And then we'll come to the side, rotating back. Stretching your neck, your torso, lower back. Take one more breath. And back to center. Inner thigh stretch, but this time we'll go ahead and act like we're out of breath. And then twisting, so you're stretching the inner thighs as well as the torso. And the other side, looking back behind you, stretching the inner thigh and torso. And then facing the side, one leg back, reach up with both hands again. One more breath, reach up and back. And then bring both feet to the side, rotating back. And back to center. Next, we're going to work the back of the legs here, crossing and leaning forward, little hip area. Just take a couple breaths, keep the back straight as you lean forward. Go ahead and relax your back, upper back area. Stretch it out more. And other side. Cross the legs, lean forward. Keep the back straight to begin. And then relax the back. Okay, and then put both feet out. So I'm kind of like this, a little wide, and then leaning forward. I'm kind of on the edge of my chair, but don't fall off of it. See what you can do. Okay, and then last, we're going to outline the edge of the shoe. So what you'll do is you go like this, inside, outside heel. We can see that. There we go. Toes, outside heel, inside. Just kind of roll it around. Working all the stuff in here, stretching it all out. Go the other way. So you can figure it out. And then let's just raise the heels up. Raise the toes up. Stretch the sides by leaning on them a little bit, not too much pressure or force. And then the inside. That takes us to the bottom of the whole routine. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish with a little bit of meditation here. Opening up the chest, just allowing yourself to relax and enjoy your breath. Think about just feeling your breath coming in and out for a minute or so. Taking 2 more deep breaths and then we'll close up. And open your eyes, coming to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. Namaste. Thanks for joining me again for a pretty ultimate stretching routine, that's for sure. You have a great day. Thanks again.